Welcome to Season 3 of Sailing Sitka. I'm Kenna and this is Jay. We live aboard our 1976 Choi Lee sailboat named Sitka, in which we have sailed south from Canada in 2022 to the very last port of Mexico. This season, we are finally exiting Mexico and taking our boat further through the Panama Canal and into the beautiful Central American waters. So hit that subscribe button and follow along, as this season we are sailing as far and wide as possible. You guys you make this happen, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Sailing Sitka, and I hope you enjoy. Last week on Sailing Sitka. Is hand bombing this freaking chain. We have 260 feet out right now. Nick's down below pushing. I'm at the helm going in forward and neutral, helping Jay with the chain. I mean, it's not bad, but it's freaking horrible. As you can see, when we were escaping Cocos here in Costa Rica, our up foot pedal for our windlass decided to quit in the worst moment possible. So after Jay got all 260 feet back on board Sitka, we motored to the most peaceful bay called Bahia Culebra. Here we have been licking our wounds and helping Sitka get back in her groove before lifting the hook once again and sailing further south. Just like that, you're all caught up. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Sailing Sitka, and before I turn you over to Jay, make sure you take this time to hit that subscribe button.
Alright guys, so you probably saw on the last time we pulled the anchor, I had to pull like all 260 feet by hand, and that's because our up foot switch has completely disintegrated itself. At the time we weren't sure, but we knew the switch because like I had a crack in it, even though it's only like, it's not even 3 years old, that switch. So but anyways, I just opened it up right now outside. I'll show you guys in a little bit, but it's beyond repair. Like, it's just mangled in there. Like, as soon as you get salt water in these little metal components, like they just like, they're beyond serviceable. And sadly here in Costa Rica, we can't find any switches. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna try to cut that one out of the system, and I'm gonna wire the control box that is currently wired to the down switch, which still works. I'm gonna switch it over so that the down switch becomes an up switch, because putting the anchor down is pretty easy. Like we don't need to like have power to that. We can just use the gypsy manually, and it's pretty easy. Like naturally gravity does the work for you and when you're backing up. But the up part is what we want, or else like it's actually kind of dangerous too on a boat this size with this tonnage, with the amount of chain we put out and the weight of our anchor. Like I was pretty much reaching the limit of my physical capability of lifting that anchor last time. So I'm gonna try to get into that right now. It's pretty hard working up there because it's tiny. Like there's barely any space. I'll show you guys here. I'll try to give you guys a glimpse of what I'm dealing with. So these two cables here go to the up switch, and they're connected to a control box that's behind this panel here. Now these two wires go to the down switch. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut these here, and I'm gonna wire these ones to the switch up here. So in theory, this should become a up switch instead of a down switch. So we'll give that a try. I won't be filming while I'm doing it because there's barely any room for me. Like this is the opening I'm dealing with, and like see, my hand's bigger than it, so it's a bit of a nightmare in there. All right, after an hour of mucking around in there, I'm almost losing my mind. I swear to God, these projects are so easy, but it's the lack of space to work. There's no room to work. That's what makes them frustrating. So now this switch, like I showed you, like I didn't show you yet, but look, this is why this doesn't work. Like it's all corroded to shit. By the way, these switches are the same amount of years. They're 3 years old. But now this one, which is supposed to be out, is now a up, which is what we want, because going down's easy, but going up's hard. So yeah, that's good.
Good morning, everyone. We have been in this flat calm bay for some time now, probably about 4 days. So today we are gonna go across to the marina, and we're gonna go get water, and we're gonna go get fuel, and we're gonna just kind of get all loaded up so that tomorrow we can dip and go on to new places. Well, kind of. Tomorrow we're gonna be going back to Coco's, sadly, because there we have to get food and maybe another phone plan. Ooh. Some fish action. Yeah, so mostly food. We need to get a lot of food. And then from there, we're gonna be able to sail south and go to a new anchorage. So that's super exciting, and we're excited to bring you along. And it's looking like the weather's finally gonna be clearing. It's actually bright out for the first time in like 4 days. And I see blue sky.
We only need like 30 gallons of fuel, so it's not that bad. Or sorry, not 30, like 15.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're mostly going there for water. Like, it's funny because there's a mega yacht yesterday probably fueled for 8 hours, getting like 40 grand worth of fuel, and we're gonna go in and get like $100 and get a bunch of water. We're the peasant boat. All right, so the plan is to go port side 2, but we might have to readjust last second and go starboard side 2, but there's plenty of space to turn around in there, so unless there's a boat in the way, we should be able to turn the boat and be bow out so we're ready for our exit, and that way the fuel tank's also on the port side, or not the fuel tank, but the actual fill-up is on the port side. The water's on the starboard, but we have a long hose, so that's not bad. The down switch as an up switch worked flawlessly, so that's good. Like we've explained before, we no longer have a down switch, but that's easy to do manually. It's a bit more finicky, like it's easier to let go of the entire chain by accident that way, because you have to like manually play with the clutch. So I'll probably be doing that for the first little bit until Kenna feels more comfortable, but that gives Kenna a good opportunity to get the helm down pat. She's been doing the helm for a few times now while at anchor, and she did great, so that's gonna be good. It's good to like cross over so that everybody knows how to do everything.
Just like that, we are fueled up and we are watered up and we are good to go. It feels so good to be on the move again. We are going back to this anchorage to anchor for just tonight, but then tomorrow, like I said, we are going to Coco's and we are going to be provisioning so that we can head further south and be on the move, actually, once again.
Living on a sailboat is kind of like running your own little city on the water. You're dependent on yourself to learn and understand all types of aspects and jobs on the boat. For instance, I've always been at the bow when we anchor. So for me to be at the helm was an uncomfortable feeling at first, but then made me feel more confident once I had to go at it for the first time. With our windlass foot pedal to release the anchor and chain being on the fritz, it is now releasing fast and sort of out of control. Jay felt it was best he monitored it, well that gave me an opportunity to become more confident at the helm. I think it's important to feel uncomfortable at times. That means you're learning, changing, and evolving. All things handy and inevitable when cruising on a sailboat in remote and foreign places.
Well, there you have it.
Our second last day anchored in this peaceful bay of Mata di Cana was exactly what we'd been craving for over 2 weeks at this point. Sunny, calm, and dry. As we anchored with our new and adjusted technique, Nick flew the drone to capture a bird's-eye view of the perfect and unexpected conditions that we were experiencing. We felt extra grateful in this moment to feel the warmth on our skin and the dryness in the air. Sometimes cruising can be a wet challenge, but sometimes it can also be a dream come true. But one simply does not exist without the other. After a day of provisioning tomorrow in the rolly bay of Coco's, we will be coming back here for one more peaceful night's sleep until we lift the hook and sail 130 nautical miles to Bahia Balena the following day.
Trying to do the stingray slide because there is a lot of stingrays here on this beach, supposedly.
But for now, we went to shore to soak in all this wonderful sun that today was gifting us. We hadn't had an enjoyable beach day in ages and decided it was a good call to enjoy the sun while we still had the chance. Let's see. Show your chest.
I swear I was only outside for like an hour.
Holy crap.
We like, to be fair, we haven't seen sun in like 2 to 3 weeks right now. Is it red?
It's so bad. It's almost
Show them the ant highway. It goes on forever.
Ew. Marissa and Chris are gonna be proud. We're not proud, I should say.
What? Lobster
Of
Jay.
Jay. Look at his chest.
Oh, look at this big one.
Oh, he's going fast. What you doing there, Jay?
Getting rid of all the gunk. Okay, so basically I was just emptying the bowl of whatever sediments and water there was, which is not that much for the amount of motoring we've done, but you can tell it's kind of gross in there. There is sediment for sure. That's from like rocking around. It stirred up everything that was in the bottom of the tank. So, anyways, in about like 50 more hours of motoring, we'll change that filter. And I mean, this filter is only like, we changed it, it's a brand new filter from a month ago. But if ever it was to get clogged underway, all we'd have to do is do this, and then the fuel would go through this one, which is brand new. So that's the advantage of having a dual setup, which saved our ass in Eureka. You can go back and watch that episode, that was season 1. But yeah, now we're good for a little bit longer.
We are on the move. We are going to Coco's to provision for food.
Right now we're leaving our nice, beautiful bay here.
And then straight after that, we are going to be dipping and sailing 10 miles south to a new bay. So, very exciting stuff. Thanks for being here with us, you guys. You make these videos possible, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. And yeah, don't miss out.
We can already tell it's going to be shitty and rolly at Coco's, but we have to go there to get some groceries. So, but we're just doing a pit stop. We're basically dropping the hook, launching the dinghy, crash landing on the beach. We're going to go get some groceries, come back, and then we're leaving. We're going to go to an anchorage south of here that hopefully is more protected.
Going to, the one that's 10 miles south. It is way too rough. The way the wind and the swells are, that bay would be super unprotected. So we're now gonna go hunker down in Bahia Hermosa, which is just the bay, the first bay north. So we'll be able to tuck into there. The way that bay is, these swells aren't gonna come into there, so we're gonna hunker down for there for the night. And we weren't even able to put all the groceries away because it was so insane down below. Like, everything was flying. This freaking anchorage, Coco's, is crazy when it's weather like this. Like, it's just insane. Like, these swells are wild, they're huge. So yeah, we're gonna go hunker in there and then put away all the rest of the groceries that we haven't put away yet. I don't even know if you guys can hear me, and tomorrow's craziness. And then I swear to you, tomorrow we will be going south, I swear.
Yeah, so we tried to anchor in this bay. Well, we didn't try. We just went in and looked at the boats, and then we're like, you know what? Hell no. We're going back to where we were. Like, it's an extra like 45 minutes, but it's way calmer there. It's flat, so we're like, we just want to have a good night's sleep before we go for like an overnight passage. The reason why we tried this is because over there was like no way we're gonna stay there. It was like worse than being at sea. And then we know there's a flat one there, but we're like, this is supposed to be flatter because there's that land mass here that should break the swells, but it's way better than Coco's, but it's still not great. And if you went beam 2, it would suck. So we're like, you know what? We know where the good spot is. It's right there. We're just gonna go there and have a good night's sleep. And then we can put the rest of the groceries away, because basically I just stuffed the fridge with all the things that need to be refrigerated, and the rest is still not put away because it was just insanity. Things are just flying out of the fridge and shit. Yeah. Sailing.
After the runaround of today's errands, we finally made it back to the calm bay of Mata di Cana for one last sleep before we sail further south. But that's all next week on Sailing Sitka.
7-9. Okay, right now we are literally sailing between 8.5 and 9.5 knots. 10 knots right now. And the seas are pretty big, as you can tell.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Sailing Sitka. Stick around for more to come. If you enjoyed, please spread the love and let us know. Special thank you to our Patreon members for making these videos possible, as well as helping our dreams come true. See you all next week.